Alright, day 2, trying to learn how to play this cello. And as somebody who plays stringed instruments, one of the things I know is super important is your right hand. I've watched a lot of videos that talked about keeping your right hand relaxed. I looked up how to hold the bow properly. I liked one of the exercises from the Essential Elements books, so I'm just going to use my open strings and not even worry about my left hand today. And I'm going to practice hitting whole notes, half notes, and quarter notes across all the strings. And then I'm going to get a little bit probably advanced for where I'm at, and I'm going to work on skipping strings, doing the same exercise. We'll see how this goes for day 2. So I'll just start off with whole notes, and then half notes, and then quarter notes across the strings. Not so bad, not so bad. I think it's pretty good for a beginner. I also realized as I was doing that without any kind of tempo or click track, it doesn't really matter what kind of note I'm playing. I'm just playing 4 strokes across each string, fairly slow. How about that? Okay, this is a very unnatural feeling for my hand, but I'm trying to remember to not hold the bow in the tips of my fingers and also to keep my grip loose. You don't need to death grip the bow, right? The gravity is going to kind of hold it there on the strings. You can just kind of let it rest in your hand, right? Least amount of effort possible, not a death grip. Plus, a death grip, your tone's going to be terrible if you're just squeezing the bejesus out of your bow, right? I'm just assuming that, that would be really uncomfortable. I'm going to try and go a little bit faster now. One of the things that I know I need to remember is to keep my bow in between the bridge and the neck and to keep it perpendicular to everything. I don't want to start getting like this, and I don't want to be sliding up and down. I want to keep my bow nice and smooth back and forth in between the neck and the bridge. A little bit faster. Got a little wonky with my positioning there in the middle for a second, started sliding around, but I can hear it. I could hear it. Immediately I knew it was happening because it sounds just off. I don't even know how to explain it yet, but it just sounds off. Good to know that I can hear that. We'll go a little bit faster one more time, and then I'll move on to the exercise I want to do for practice today. last like 2 strokes I got a little woo with my bow, but what are you gonna do on day 2? You gotta remember that those tuning pegs are right behind my head, and if I sit up too straight, I'm gonna bump them and throw myself way out of tune, unlike a guitar. Like the slightest little bump of this string, and it's gonna go from C to like F sharp. Okay, so the exercise that I did in the Essential Elements book yesterday was all on open strings, and it was just on the D and the A, jumping back and forth between them fairly slowly. I liked the exercise and the idea of getting used to going back and forth between the strings, so I took it and made it slightly my own. I like the sound, the musicality of a long, drawn-out half note after the 2 quarter notes instead of, or after the, I guess it's 8th notes? I don't know. I like the ba-ba-ba instead of ba-ba-ba. It just sounds nicer. You'll see what I mean. But anyway, let's see if I can demonstrate it one time and make it sound good. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. A little squeaky there in the middle, but essentially that's the exercise. So it's, you know, the da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na. But we're then going to walk that across the strings. So we're going to do we got C and D. Yeah, and then the D and A, and then the A and the G, and then we're just going to go right back. I think those were the right notes for the strings. I'm not entirely sure yet. I think so. No, C, G, D, A. Yeah, C, G, D, A. Haha, I do know what I'm talking about. Let's try and go for a little walk across the strings here and see what happens. Do I get credit for that? Y'all are essentially my mentor right now. So do I get credit for that? I think it was pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that. Okay, so that's the exercise. Just across the strings and back. I want to do it a few times at around that tempo. Try and keep it clean. Pick it up a few times. Pick it up again maybe a few times. And then I'll try and do it skipping strings slowly and see how it goes. definitely started speeding up towards the end. I was getting comfortable with the movement, but I also started catching both of those strings on some of those switches. The string changes were not very clean, but we recognize it and we know we need to work on it on the next one. And we also need to just relax and maintain our tempo. I should be practicing with a metronome. It's day 2. I just want to get comfortable with the thing in my hand. That was just not a good start. We're not even going to count that. So I think that weird noise that I kept making faces about happens when I don't quite fully catch an individual string and I'm like getting a borderline like harmonic from the string that I'm not quite off of. I don't know, but that's why we do things like this, is to get back. I'm pretty sure that is as simple as me just not getting off of the string that I just left enough. So I'm catching 2 strings and it's giving me like a weird harmonic overtone and it sounds poopy. Let's try it a little faster. Because obviously I am rushing it by the end. I want to go faster. I feel pretty comfortable with this exercise. It's not that hard. It was okay. It was okay. I was losing my grip on my bow there a little bit. Let me set that down for a minute. I was losing my grip on my bow for a minute. My hand's getting tired. It is not used to that claw grip thing you got going on there. It's used to holding a pick. My hand is used to a pick. Not this. It's exhausting. Let's try the same tempo, less mistakes. I'm happy with it. That one was better, but I'm mad about my tone, which I shouldn't be mad about my tone on day 2. And there's also the fact that I'm using this bow that came with it, and it's literally like the whole left half of the hairs are like almost gone. It's like so bare. I'm basically playing on half a bow right now. So I guess I could contribute some of my problems to this, but I don't want to be that guy who's just like, oh, it's my equipment sucks, so obviously I sound bad. No, anything can sound good. Tone is in your hands, and my hands don't know what they're doing. My equipment also kind of sucks. I started losing my grip there at the end. I was fiddling around with my bow hand. I started getting all wonky with it. But again, at least we know what the problem was, so we know what we need to work on. Mindful practice. I don't know if it's okay to wave your bow around like that, but this bow sucks. So, mindful practice. Don't just aimlessly strum around on your instrument. Pay attention to what you're doing wrong so that you know you can fix it next time. I just tried to drink my coffee with the lid shut. Don't judge me. I'm a bassist after all. Okay, my hand's getting tired, and I understand from doing tedious crafts and things like that that you need to listen to your hands, because if you want to be able to practice every day, you can't let your hand get hurt. So since my hand's getting tired, I'm going to move on to the advanced skill that I want to try and try and do this exercise slowly while skipping strings. So I want to go C, D, G, A. Yeah, nice and slow. I messed up. I messed it up at the end, and I just went with it, and kind of just took the whole pattern across all the strings for one round. But I think it was pretty good for skipping strings my first time. I definitely noticed I tend to catch the string in the middle as I'm trying to change strings. I don't know if you're supposed to. To walk it over that string, or if you're supposed to. No, that's stupid, dude. I don't know why I think you would pick your bow up. That's just wasted movement. Something like that, I think. Let's try the sking stripping. Let's try the string skipping. I can't talk. Let's try the string skipping exercise again. but in general, that was pretty messy. Pretty messy. But I think I understand the concept of skipping strings. I don't think it's that difficult. I just definitely need to do it 7,000 more times, and then I need to do it 700 million more times after that, and one day I might be an intermediate level cellist. Okay, maybe if I try to take rhythm and everything out of it, some just straight up, I don't even know what I want to call that, just, it worked. I'm happy with that. I'm going to call that a good end to my practice session, because I'm really happy with what I just did. Yeah, I'm pretty psyched on day 2. I'm super happy to have this cello. It's super fun. I'm really excited to learn more about it. Thanks for sticking around and watching me squeak around on this thing. I wouldn't hate it if you liked and subscribed to the video, and make sure you go practice today. Yeah.